It has truly been a never more exciting time to be a Shadow the Hedgehog fan. Being the year of Shadow and everything, in addition to Shadow appearing in the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie, with this newest trailer though for Sonic X Shadow Generations, with Shadow now having a handful of unique, brand new abilities to draw from here, there is one question I can't help but pose here. What exactly is going on with all these abilities? It might just be my copium talking here. However, I can't help but feel like there's a distinct connection. So what I am more specifically interested in here, how exactly do all these new abilities for Shadow tie in with the plot of Sonic X Shadow Generations? It seems oddly suspicious that Black Doom would be so willing to give out these abilities to Shadow on his journey if he knows in the back of his mind that he's probably going to be at some point trying to track him down and then ultimately try and foil whatever sort of plot he's scheming in the background of the game, since we don't exactly know the full story until the game eventually drops. Wouldn't it be something though, similar to how in Sonic Frontiers at the end of the game, in the final update, how Sonic achieved the new super form known as Super Sonic 2? Wouldn't it be a coincidence then to take a teaspoon of inspiration from that at the end of this journey here for Shadow? Maybe if there's a way to upgrade all of his Doom powers and over the course of the game get stronger or have them do more damage, or maybe have a greater area of effect on the stage that you're playing in, some sort of way that it can enhance them even more and have Shadow become a walking powerhouse, a literal army of one to really try and give Black Doom and his minions a run for their money. And also the fact that we, again, don't have any real idea whatsoever what exactly is going on with the story in terms of the timeline so far, except that it's most likely going to be before Sonic Generations. Be that as it may, could we in fact be secretly getting a brand new super form transformation for Shadow the Hedgehog here at the very end of Sonic X Shadow Generations? I know it sounds absolutely off the walls, but hey, if it happened in Sonic Frontiers, the latest title here, I don't really think it's that far-fetched at all here to assume that perhaps Shadow might indeed be getting a brand new super transformation exclusively for him, borrowing different elements here of each individual Doom power, and then maybe ultimately fusing them together into some new culmination form at the very, very, very end of Sonic X Shadow here. For all we know, that could be not even anywhere close to the truth, and Shadow might just go into his regular super form from the adventure games, and that could just be the end of it then, as the final boss. What if we are actually indeed getting a new super form that's based off the Black Arms alien race? Is that something that can in fact possibly be expected to happen here? Could this possibly happen then once we do end up reaching the final levels of the game? I guess we'll just have to really speculate here and see once the game finally releases. Also, it's worth noting here, I couldn't help but draw comparisons to the original Shadow the Hedgehog game from 2005 when I first initially caught sight of the red UFOs that Shadow was able to ride on at a very slow speed in Shadow's original self-titled game. One of the missions was where you were tasked with either destroying the Space Colony Ark's defenses with Black Doom or trying to just merely get to the end of the level, and I can't help but draw parallels there between that creature's design. But that creature's design, I feel like, could be one of the main, if not the main, inspiration behind the Doom wings and their design as well. To sort of tie those two together and reference and pay homage to Shadow the Hedgehog, without being too direct, of course, but as a nice little nod if it were. But besides that though, all these other Doom power abilities all look pretty cool. That's not to say I don't like any of them. They all do seem rather cool and have their own unique individual attributes that will all definitely be coming in handy, as it seems, to aid Shadow here in his quest to stop Black Doom once again from taking over the world. And also, what's up with the whole, just to put this out there, what exactly is going on with Metal Sonic here returning? I think it's absolutely amazing. To have Metal Overlord of all forms come back is just a real treat for longtime fans like myself here that grew up playing the adventure games. But also, could we maybe perhaps see Neo Metal Sonic as well? I mean, there's got to be a cutscene with him or something, or some kind of dialogue of him interacting with Shadow, maybe at multiple points in the story trying to steal his data. You know, what exactly could that mean for the story as well? Could this in fact be the real Metal Sonic that somehow got upgraded thanks to Eggman? or Black Doom's intervening and was able to transform Metal Sonic here into Metal Overlord once again? Or could this just be like a projection of some kind, like an illusion created by Black Doom to just mess with Shadow's head and his memories here? Speaking of which here, are we going to see any other potential bosses? Like what about, say, Iblis from Sonic 06 or Mephiles for that matter? I know that most people probably think that the Time Eater is behind all this, and that very well may be the case if it's not Black Doom, as a close second option here for that. But what if in fact it's Mephiles as a surprise twist at the end of the game, that instead of it being Black Doom, that in fact no, it's Mephiles, he's returned. And then that could be when, if there is a new form, and then you get to really duke it out with Mephiles once and for all. In honestly all probability, what would be one of the most epic Sonic the Hedgehog boss battles ever. So I'd say though in that regard, I'm very, very, very much excited for everything here that Sonic X Shadow Generations is trying to do. Not just with Shadow's character and the story for that matter. You know, when this was first initially announced, I was really worried that this was just going to be another episode Shadow situation, just like how it was in Sonic Forces. Now don't get me wrong, that wasn't terrible or anything, but come on, just having 3 distinct levels, and that was basically it. In all honesty, that felt like a tease from Sega and Sonic Team. We at least know so far, currently, that the Shadow portion of this new version of Sonic Generations will in fact be not quite as long as the original game as Modern and Classic Sonic, but it will indeed have a fairly long length to it story-wise. Do you guys also think or suspect that Metal Sonic will be playing a larger role in this plot for Sonic X Shadow Generation? Could he perhaps be a new version of Metal Sonic that has been upgraded and transformed into Neo Metal Sonic? Or is it merely perhaps just an illusion conjured up by Black Doom to try and mess, like I said before, with Shadow's memories here and the events of past Sonic titles? Time will ultimately be telling though, unless we get some sort of direct confirmation from Sega and Sonic Team before the game comes out. Ultimately right now, everything is honestly just pure speculation, because with this game it seems like the sky is quite literally the limit here, at least in regards to being a Shadow fan. So then I turn the question over to you guys. Do you all think that Shadow will be receiving a new super form or transformation of some kind here at the end of Sonic X Shadow Generations? If there was one revealed, do you think it would be similar to Black Doom in some way, with its physical appearance, or something entirely new altogether? Or if you're in the camp that says no, he's not getting a new super form, he's just going to go either Super Shadow or Hyper Shadow, and that's going to be it at the end of the day when it's all said and done, well, then hey, you know, you guys have your right to your opinion as well. I just feel like this is a tease and is setting up for something much bigger than we could all probably anticipate here, at least at this given time. These are just my thoughts though on what I think these new Doom power abilities for Shadow might in fact be hinting at. That'll just about do it though for my thoughts here in relation to this topic. I hope you all have enjoyed this video though, and if you like what you see, be sure to give the video a like down below, comment your favorite moment, and if you either agree or disagree, and why about Shadow receiving a new super form transformation here, and let's talk about everything else here related to the game. See you guys, catch you on the flip side.